Hey guys, it's me, Demonata Wasif, back with part 6 to What If Ichigo Kurosaki was sent back in time. As I said in the previous part, this is the same day as the previous part because I kind of messed up with my time. And yeah, let's get straight into this. After witnessing Ichigo kill Tsukushima, who for a brief period of time they'd believed was a part of their family, although now they realise otherwise, Ichigo's family had grown distant and disgusted, excluding Ishin, by Ichigo. While often in these stories they say that a mother's love is permanent and it's never unchanging, it can still be twisted. And the sister and brotherly bonds are weak at this moment in time. After the incident, Ichigo had used a minus arrow to incinerate Tsukushima's body, and had merely walked away. Now Ichigo spends most of his time outside of the house, just walking down the streets, being alone, and just in anguish over how his family's treating him. He doesn't even get woken up by his father through being kicked anymore. He doesn't experience those family bonds anymore and is just ignored. One night whilst out, this is just before school begins, he meets Urahara, who he begins to talk to. "Say, Ichigo, why about so late? I had an incident recently and my family's been pushing me away. I'm just out of the house often now." I understand, Ichigo. I went for a period of time like that in my life. Ichigo replies with, I know. They begin talking about his life as a substitute Shinigami. They talk about his life having these powers. They talk about how it's influenced his friends, how they've been affected by it. They just genuinely talk. A strange father-like bond that Urahara himself can't even comprehend, but Ichigo understands that this is his bond from his previous timeline carrying over. After a few hours of conversation, about 3, Urahara offers Ichigo a place to stay, and for the first time since coming to this world, Ichigo easily accepts. With the moment Urahara saying it, Ichigo just mulling it over for like barely a second and just saying, "Yes, please, thank you." Now, from there, the days up until the end of the summer break and school beginning kind of stay normal. Ichigo will every so often hunt down hollows that are just out and about, or, well, specifically ones that are attacking people. But outside of that, nothing much happens. Ichigo returns to school with a clearer head, and is already expecting the ex-captain Shinji to arrive at school. But then, as he doesn't arrive, and as the new student is introduced, he realizes him never having gone to Cell Society had changed a lot. A lot of people he won't ever be able to meet again. And he's worried about this. See, his main power up until now, other than his physical power, was his knowledge of the future, was his knowledge of his future. His knowledge of his interactions with people, how he developed with people. Now, while he was accepting at first of it, he wanted to experience how it was to be younger, how it was when times were, while difficult, were still easy. So having it cut off after these years, it feels strange. Days pass with Yami and a replacement for Ulikwara, so a weak Arankar. Invade so they are far weaker, these people, compared to the canon ones, being Aizen's side products. So Yami is well known for being someone who has a strange ability that allows him to boost based on the amount of damage he takes, if I remember correctly. But yeah, here he is not that overpowered. He's just a simple Orankar, to just got Sarahs and shit. He's nothing really that special. But yeah. The replacement being one of the previous guys that was made by Aizen much earlier on in the series. So this would be a person we would never see. This would be like at the very start of Aizen's projects on creating Arankars. But yeah. Now, the spy who had been sent, again, is keeping track of every moment. She or he has been sending messages on Ichigo's surroundings. She's been sending messages based on Ichigo's powers, and is now sending information on how these strange hollows have been created. The Captain Commander is greatly worried by this because he knows about Arankars. I don't think he was even know about this in the original story, but I'll get an explanation for that later. But yeah. So, due to his worry, he gets a captain, and is roped into by Aizen. He gets a captain and roped into by Aizen to bring along a friend with him. That sentence feels wrong to me, but yeah. And they are sent to the human world, meeting Ichigo, basically just to investigate. The two people who are sent are Hitsugaya and Hinamori. So Hinamori is Momo, who is killed by Hitsugaya after Hitsugaya is confused and thinks it's confusion shit. But yeah, Hitsugaya being the icy boy, the ice captain. So yeah. Hinamori would not logically be sent with Hitsugaya, but what had happened here is that Aizen had spoken with the Captain Commander and had made a sort of deal. Neither of these two joined the school like would have happened previously, and this is this is about around the same time it would have happened, but neither of them joined the school. And actually, due to their knowledge of Ichigo, they are sent to stay with Ichigo, in some ways intruding upon him, but he accepts it, and they slightly get to know him, with Hinamori being a little bit open, but a little prejudiced because he's not a full Shinigami, and they're not fully aware whether he truly is. So she is a little prejudiced. That might not seem like it should be part of her character, so before anyone comments anything about that, it is a logical thing for someone to be prejudiced against someone they consider inferior. Keep in mind, Ichigo has only had powers for like 2 years or something, or a year. Not even a year. Sorry, no, like a few months now. So she's going to be prejudiced. It's a general trait that a higher species gain. You wouldn't expect a cat. Well, okay, no, you kind of would, but yeah, you wouldn't expect like a dog to be superior to you, or you wouldn't expect something that you consider lower than you to be superior to you in some way. So Hinamori will sometimes seem condescending, even if her personality is known to be more outgoing and outburst. But yeah, her character wasn't built too much upon anyway, so continuing on. They are now living in Urahara's place. Um, Now, because of this change in environment, and how Aizen has realised that due to some issues and some complications, he has to start working on stuff himself. He basically has been working on tons of Irankars, and he decides to test these Irankars' abilities. He sends them out to test their capabilities, and gives them permission to use their second states. Now, if you don't know what the second states are, it's kind of like unsealing your Zanpakuto, but for hollows. It's kind of weird. But yeah. Again, these are far weaker than the original timeline ones, so this is, yeah, a little bit different. Oh, I say a lot weaker, but I'd say they're probably around the same strength as the whole the group that Grimjaw brought. So, yeah, they're still weak, but yeah. As they arrive through the gate that connects Menace Grande to our world, and yeah, I don't remember what they're called. Basically, instantly Ichigo senses them, and is ready to go out already, but at the same time, Hitsugaya had sensed them and had gone off with Hinamori following him due to her nature. Hitsugaya would immediately go into his Shikai form and begin attacking them with ice-based attacks. They're more simple attacks, but so they're not like gonna be like completely ridiculous, but yeah, they're just gonna be a Shikai state attack. With Hinamori using her, I think it was like a petal or fire-based burst attack. I don't remember what it was. Whatever it was, to help. With this, most of the weaker Rankars will have been finished off with about, I'm going to say, give or take, 5 left remaining out of an original 12. In seeing Hitsugaya and Hinamori already fighting, Ichigo immediately takes out his Shikai, not even bothering to changing his garbs, manifesting a Sero, and yeah, just pulling back a string, aiming and firing off, with the Sero proceeding to split into 5 parts and piercing every single one of them through the skull, instantly killing them. This display of power completely shocks Hinamori, kind of stunning him through quite a bit, while Hitsugaya is really impressed, but it doesn't hold him for nearly as long. Now I know this is the first fight that I think I've properly shown, but there really isn't much. This is Ichigo we're talking about. This is Ichigo with this power. He's not got any powers that he really needs to use at the moment. So while I will be looking a bit more into his powers and kind of like going off on them, there's not much of a challenge for him at the moment, especially since he stopped the Hogyoku. But yeah. Now, yeah. Hitsugaya comments on to Ichigo, impressive. Ichigo then just looks towards him and thanks him, with Hitsugaya kind of like trying to lead Hinamori back into the room so that he can write a report, with her, again, still being stunned. Ichigo returns to sleep with the night passing, and yeah, Hitsugaya and the spy both make 2 different reports. Hitsugaya's report mainly focusing on what he had seen. Ichigo using his Shikai, which he managed to manifest without even bringing out any proper powers. But on top of that, using what seemed almost like some of the attacks that these Irankars had been using against them, which they had been calling out as Sero. that he'd seen Ichigo using something that looked like those. Hitsugai also comments in this on how it reminds me of him of the Quincy War that had been going on a few centuries ago. And yeah, the report kind of trails off from there. The spy, on the other hand, having a much more close-up visual of Ichigo, sees that his Shikai has been flaring up a lot more, probably in reference to his emotions towards his family, and the spy also sees clearly that this is, in fact, the Seros that Hitsugai had reported. On top of that, they noticed that the arrows had dispersed after leaving the bow, and that's most of the information what was going on. On top of that, a few blue lines had appeared on Ichigo's face for a moment, and while they had reported that, they still didn't see any importance in that discovery. Anyway, yeah, for me, currently it's the middle of the night and I kind of want to go to sleep, so I'm hoping this is long. But yeah, I'm going to finish this off here. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you have a lovely weekend, as I said last video, and I really am sorry for only getting this out after 4 days. But yeah, I hope you like these 2 months I've been posting today. Thank you.